Alright, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna prime the face with the Focus Primer Water. Love the Coco. Got this cute little fan from my grandma. Go ahead and prime the face with some, of course, my e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I put it down the neck. I love that stuff. We're going to move right into foundation using my e.l.f. blending sponge. I kind of want to put a lot because this is a Halloween look, so I kind of want to make the face as even toned as possible. So I am just taking quite a bit of that foundation, and it's the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. And I just blur that all over the face, on top of the eyelids and everything, and kind of bring that down the neck a little bit and on the ears. Next, I'm going to go into the Moonstruck Addiction palette. This is from Younique. I used to sell Younique, and I actually really do like their products. They are a bit pricey, but the quality is pretty good. I'm going to take the black color in that palette. It's palette number 2. And I'm going to start to smoke out the eyes. We're taking it just right in the crease and smoking out the eyes. Rubbing it in, make sure it's nice and good. And yeah, so we do one side at a time and just stick with that black color right there. And yes, as you could tell, that palette was broken. It's about a year old. And then I'm gonna bring it down into the bottom line, bottom eyelash line as well. And go ahead and take the same shade and do the other side as well. Just fluffing that in the crease, making sure it's nice and blended and even, taking a step back and looking at both eyes open to make sure that it is good to go. So yeah. Next, we're going to take the brown shade in that palette, and we're just going to go right below where the black is, kind of just to deepen the eye some more and kind of fill it in. But not so harsh, just to give it like a gradient effect, so it starts with the brown and kind of ends up to the black. Yeah. Okay, next we're gonna head into some concealing. We're gonna do kind of like a cut crease with the eye. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape and just a flat round brush. We're gonna cut the crease and kind of just blend that out on top of the eyelid. Not going up too far, just really focusing it on the eyelid part. Right. Then I grab some Stila liquid eyeshadow pigments. They're glittery, it's super pretty. And we're adding that just on top. Kind of want to do a thick layer because I do want it to show a little bit. It's kind of shimmery, metallic-y. It's just going to add a little pop to the eye. And then I'm going to go back in, and I'm actually going to use some eyeshadow from the Wet n Wild Color Icon shadow palette, the Comfort Zone one that I used in my last video. I'm just going to pop that right on top of the Stila eyeshadow, liquid eyeshadow. And then just with my brush, just going to blend all the edges, making sure it's all blended in good together. And taking that same black shade with a small little brush, I'm using an e.l.f. brush, and just rubbing it on the bottom eye line. Cleaning up the excess, and I'm totally looking for where I put the concealer. So I'm actually going to use a different concealer. We're going to go in with the Maybelline Circle Treatment Concealer. It's a little lighter than the Tarte Shape Tape one. So yeah, we're just gonna use that to kind of clean up any spots that are not as bright as I would want them. Next, I'm gonna go back in with the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm gonna go over this eyebrow with it and really conceal it as much as I can. For this look, this side of the eye is going to be a sunflower, as you saw in the beginning picture, so I wanted to cover the eyebrow as much as I could. Then I go and I just set that concealer with the Coty Airspun loose base powder like I showed you. And yeah, so I'm testing out how I'm gonna kind of do the sunflower, and For the Sunflower, I ended up using they're the Flower Beauty Pop Fanatic eyeshadows. So I'm taking that yellow shade, and it doesn't really have to be perfect because we're going to go back in and outline. I'm just really kind of drawing in the petals where I want them with that bright yellow shade, and just going all around the eye with it. As you can tell, it is not perfect. It doesn't have to be. You just kind of brushing up on the eyebrow hair instead of down, because you don't want your eyebrow hairs to be kind of down. I wanted them up more. So I just went all around the eye with that bright yellow, and just drew some little petals, little streaks, nothing too crazy. And as you can see, it does not look that great, but at the end it all comes together, I promise you. So yeah, after I do that, we're gonna go in with the little palette that I got from Target. It's just a face paint palette. I was trying to use it, the orange shade, because I didn't pick up an orange Flower Beauty one. And to be honest with you guys, those things suck, completely suck. They do not work good. So I kind of went in and just deepened the petals, but it didn't show up too well. Kind of like hit and miss with these products. Sometimes they work really good and sometimes they don't. So then I kind of dug around and ended up using my Makeup Revolution palette, and there's an orange shade in there, and I took that same brush that I smudged the black underneath my eye and just took that orange shade and kind of defined where I want those petals to be. So as you can see, it's just a little bit right in the beginning of the petal, and I just took the orange and kind of drew where I wanted the petals to be. And there's that. Then I take my e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. It's just in a brown shade. I think it's brunette. And I start to outline the petals. So I don't want the petals to be that harsh. That's why I decided to use this pencil. It doesn't work that well with the creaminess of the Flower Beauty product that I'm using, but it kind of just adds a little something, a little depth to it, and kind of outlines it just quite a bit, just a little bit, you know. So I go around and just kind of define where I want those petals to be. And then I go in with my, it's going to be the Tarte Maneater liquid eyeshadow. This one does not work very well. This is the pencil. I ended up scratching that and saying nope, didn't work. And I used the liquid one that I just said later on. But we're gonna do the leaves part. So then I go back in with that Flower Beauty in the green shade, and I'm just gonna draw some leaves. I'm using an e.l.f. pointed edge brush, and I'm just drawing in those leaves where I want them and kind of just outlining how I want them to look. And yeah, I'm gonna go in with the green from that same thing, and I'm gonna fill them in slightly. Make sure they're nice and shaded and good. And then I actually take the white from that little cheap palette, the little face palette, Halloween face palette I got, and I'm just lightening the center just to give it some more dimension. And then I go back in with just the plain green flower eye pigment to define the leaf part. Yeah, so then I'm just kind of working as I go and looking at what I can add to make it look a little better. And what I don't want to do is, I don't want it to be too harsh or too messy looking, so I'm trying to find a way to clean it up. And how I decide I'm going to do that is with eyeliner, liquid eyeliner after the fact. So I'm just blending and making sure all the spots are good, and blend it out. Adding some more Stila eye pigments, liquid eye pigments. This one is got a little more glitter in it than the metallic. And then I go back over with the other one that I used again just to darken it back up. I really want it to kind of have something like show a little bit, you know. And I take my little spoolie and comb my eyebrow hairs back up because with the sunflower I kind of brushed them down a little bit. So then I'm moving on to the next side. I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills DipBrow pomade for this eyebrow because this half of the face is just going to be regular. But I did want my eyebrows to be kind of stronger looking than normal. That's why I decided to use a dip powder or dip brow instead of the regular e.l.f. pencil that I use. If you use the pencil, it gives it a little softer look. So here now I'm going in with the Tarte liquid eyeliner pen, and I'm kind of defining those petals. I take it and I just choose where I want to draw, and I just go for it. Honestly, it does not look perfect up close, but when it's all said and done, it looks pretty good. And for a Halloween look, it doesn't need to be perfect. So I take and outline the leaves and kind of right in the middle too, just really defining the flower itself, giving it some more dimension again. And like I have said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, so we're moving on to the lips. This is the Morphe and Jeffery Star liquid lipstick in the shade Unicorn Blood. It is a beautiful brick red, and it stays on very, very well. So I just applied that. While that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and curl the lashes, put some mascara on, and then apply some false lashes. So for my false lashes, I actually used, they're the limited edition Tarteist Pro eyelashes. I actually last winter did a whole order off the Tarte website, and these were in the package that I got along with the liquid eyeliner that I used in this video. So yeah, pop those on. Those are really fun and work really good with this look because they're very extravagant looking. So then I'm going to go and outline the lips with that liquid eyeliner again to give the lips more dimension, and we're going to do some stitches because this is kind of like a sunflower scarecrow look. So I take it from the edge of my lips and bring it out, kind of like extending my smile line, making sure everything is nice and dark. And then I start from the middle. I draw the line right in the middle of my face and bring them up a little bit for the stitches, and then I work my way outwards. That way it's kind of even on both sides. You get as many stitches as you need, and then I just take it, and again, like I've said, doesn't have to be perfect. It can be a little messy if you think about it. Just Halloween makeup is never really judged that bad. So yeah, I just added a little stitch up by the eye. Just felt like it needed something to kind of balance the look out, and fixing any little spots that I see might need darkening up. So go ahead and did that. And pretty much that is it. Let down the crazy hair. Did not style it at all. As you can tell, it was just up. Threw on this cute little straw hat with this orange top, and there's the look. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope I explained things good enough.